Hello angels, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we're going to be doing a simple portfolio, just something very simple. And this is what it looks like. And it's a responsive. Yeah, so when it gets smaller, this is what happens. Sorry, I'm scrolling too fast. If we want to look at it in the mobile view, okay, this is what it looks like. And if we click this, so we're going to be making use of vanilla HTML and CSS and just a little JavaScript. And I'm hoping that you enjoy this. All right, let's begin. I have created this very simple index.html template since we are not making use of any framework. And it is in a folder that I called UI portfolio. In this folder, there are two pictures, this balloons.jpg and ports image.png that I got from Unsplash. The link to the images would be in the description. And from here, we're going to start building the portfolio step by step. The first thing we're going to build is the nav bar. So we're going to build nav, and this nav is going to have an ID of nav bar. Very beautiful. Then we have UL, and this UL is going to have an ID of nav items. And then we have an LI, so services, and this LI is going to be duplicated 3 times, so 1, 2, 3. So here I'm going to have about me, and this is going to be my works, and this is going to have another element in it, button, and this button is just going to have contact me. And we're going to give this button a class. Class equals to nav contact. And we are going to have a SVG here, but I'm just going to bring in the SVG because you know how SVGs are, they are quite long. So you could copy from the source code. And then we have H2. This is Nancy. I want this in capital letter. So yeah, so that's the nav bar. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Finder. So far that's what it looks like, and yeah, let's keep adding the HTML. Next, I'm going to have the aside. The aside is going to be what comes out from the right hand side whenever the website is in a small screen. So the menus are going to be in aside. And yeah, aside is also an element in HTML. So class is going to be nav aside. Sorry, small letter. So I'm going to be bringing in the SVG. So this SVG is for the X button to close this aside. All right. So we have the UL. And ID is equals to aside UL. So I'm just going to, essentially, I'm just going to copy and paste all this. Yeah. So instead of nav contact, this is going to be aside contact. Okay, so that's for the aside. And then we're going to have our first section. So this section is the hero section. And yeah, we're just going to give this section ID equal to hero section. Then we're going to have a div, and this div, so this div is the line beside the portfolio that I showed in the beginning. So I'm just going to say this is going to be called hero line. The next, I have another div, and this div is ID hero left. Right, fantastic. Then we have another div, and this div is a h1. Inside this div, we have a h1, and we're going to say hello. Then we're going to have a h2. I'm going to say, let's say Nancy, your design buddy. Fantastic. So below this div, we're going to have another div. Yeah, I know. Okay, no, not this div, this div. Yeah, so we're going to give this an identifier, an ID called scroll area. Then we're going to have a p tag inside here that will say scroll down. And I'm going to bring in the SVG for this, just so to save us time. And then, yeah. So this SVG is it's an arrow pointing down to indicate to the person to scroll down. That's essentially what this SVG is for. I didn't want to make use of like standard icons. So this is also an icon, but instead of it being an image, I decided to go with SVGs. Then now have a new div. And this div is going to have ID hero right. Then we're going to have this image. We're going to bring in this image, this pot image. So I'm just going to say img s source dot slash pot image. Yeah. So this would complete this section for us. Let me remove this. And now we move to the next section. This section is for showing the services that this particular person offers. So we're going to say section. And this is going to have a class. Class is going to be page section. And then we're going to have h1 services in capital letter. So capital letters, and yeah. Now we're going to have a div below it. And this div is going to have ID cards, not IS, ID. Yes, cards. So it's going to be cards area. Whew. Okay. Next, we're going to have a div under it. And this div is going to have a class, service, card. I'm going to bring in an SVG here. So this is going to be the SVG for the product strategy area. So yeah. And below it we have H2 and call it product strategy. Okay. Then we're going to have another div. So this div is going to be, so there's product strategy, there is UX UI design and interactive prototypes. So this div we're creating is for the UI, it's for the it's for the UI UX design, yes. So class equals to service card. Okay, I'm going to bring in the SVG for this area. And then H2 is going to say UI/UX design. Okay, so we're going to have another div. I'm just going to call, in fact, let me just duplicate this one. I'm just going to simply change the text and the SVG. So let me bring in the SVG for this. So let's bring in this, and then I'm going to change this to interactive prototypes. Okay, so that's for that section. We're going to create another section, and this section is going to have a class called page section, and this is going to have an ID equals to the about section. So we're going to have a h1 here, and this is going to be about me, and then we are going to have a p tag, and I'm just going to bring in the text for this because it's pretty long and I wouldn't want to waste time just writing that. So this, you can see it's quite long. Or better still, you could just use lorem ipsum. Just do lorem then times whatever you want, how long you want it. That's up to you. Why is this? Okay. So P, let's build something remarkable together. Okay, fantastic. Okay, we're gonna have another section, and then this section is going to have a class, and that's going to be page section. Okay, and this time it's going to be an ID with project section. So we're going to have a h1. Let me just copy and paste this. And this is going to have projects. So then we have div. And this div is going to have an ID called cards area. Then we're going to have an article, right? And then this article is going to have a class of card container. Yeah. We're going to create a div. And this div is going to have a class called service card. Right. And then we're going to have an image. So this is going to be, this image is the second image we have, which is the balloon. And under this, we're going to have a div. This div is going to have a class called card overlay. So next, we're going to have a div. We're going to have a p tag. It's going to be digital magazine. And then we're going to have p tag website. Then here, we're going to have another p tag. That's going to be aura magazine. Okay, we're going to duplicate this article a couple of times. And 1, 2, the 2 times, making a total. So it's going to be, well, we duplicated it 2 times, and that makes a total of three articles. Yeah. So it's essentially just the same thing over and over again. Now brings us to the next section. Let me remove the space. We're going to have a class, age section. We're going to have ID, say contact section. And then we're going to have a H1. It's going to have a vision. And yeah, okay. Now we have a H2 next. So this H2 is going to be let's bring it to life. Okay, then we have div ID is equals to contact impute container. All right, so we're going to create, so we're going to put an input here. So this input is going to be for emails. So we're just going to say placeholder email address and then ID contact impute type. So just say email. We're going to have a button, and this button is going to say send email. And this button is going to have a class. Class is going to be nav contact and so the last section we're going to be having is the footer. And then we're just going to say section class equals to page sections. ID is equal to footer section. Right. Next, we're going to have nav inside because it's essentially we're just duplicating what's at the top nav bar. That's what we're kind of doing here, but just a bit different. So let's call this UL, bringing UL, and this UL is going to have an ID of nav items. I've had that before, so I'm just going to copy these. Yeah. So yeah, that's the end for the HTML. Let's see what it looks like, and let's see. So that's what it looks like so far. Yeah, this image is huge. We'll deal with it, and yeah. So that's for the HTML. And this brings us to the CSS part. So yeah, let's open the CSS for this. Now, hopping up to CSS, I'm just going to create a simple CSS file. I'm just going to call it styles.css. Okay, so now I'm going to do like usual, remove margin. Oops, not you. With the margin 0, 0, add in 0, box size and add a box. So this, I'm going to say the body, I want to give it a font family of sans serif. Yeah, so let's start with the nav bar. I'm going to say nav bar, comment that out, skip, comment that out. If you don't know how to comment that out, just command / in Mac, a MacBook. I think for Windows, it would be control forward slash. We're going to say, so I'm going to start with navbar, this one, this. So that's going to be pound sign, hash sign, navbar. The display flex, justify content space between, and padding. I'm going to say 25 pixels, top, bottom, 50 pixels, left, right. So then I'm going to move to the nav items. It's going to be display flex, align item center, and then list style none. Text transform uppercase. So I want the text for everything here to be uppercase. So let's see what that looks like so far. I don't know, like you. Okay, refresh. What did I save? Oh, sorry, I haven't linked the CSS. So that's going to be link href slash rel style sheet. So let's go back to it. Refresh. As you can see, it has been applied. So this is what it looks like. Yeah. So yeah, let's continue. So from there, we're going to style the LIs. So I'm just going to that's going to be font weight 600, font size 20 pixels, and then we have margin right. It's going to be 5 VW. Fantastic. Wee! And then we're going to style this nav contact. This one. That's going to be padding. Top bottom is going to be 8 pixels. Then left right is going to be 30. And font weight, I'm going to say 500. And font size is going to be 17 pixels. We're going to say text transform to be uppercase. And then background color, we want it to be transparent. Right. Then border, we want it to be 1 pixel solid black. Right. Then border radius, it's going to be 15 pixels. Then cursor, it's going to be pointer. And then we're going to have a transition. So transition. So I want the background color to transition. So I'm just going to say background color. That's going to be 0.5s. That's going to be ease in out. I don't know. I just love ease in out. All right. So this nav contact, when we hover over it, I want it to be, the background to be white, and then the color should be black. No, the color should be white, and then the background color should be black. Okay. The background color, let's say black, right? And then color would be white. And if you don't want to use white, you could just say pound, same thing. All right, and yeah, let's take a look at what it looks like so far. All right, yeah, okay, so that looks good so far. What we want to do is remove this. We don't want this icon to be there at the beginning. We want it to be invisible. Okay, no, we don't want it to be there. So okay, so back to our code. We're going to say the draw. So this draw icon, let me just copy. So that's gonna be the draw icon, and then the nav aside to this. We don't want to see them. So that's gonna be nav aside. That's gonna be dot nav aside. Okay. So when the screen is big, we don't want to see them until it's small. So when we get to media query, we're going to bring it up in. All right, so we also want a transition for this. That's going to be opacity, ease in out 0.6 seconds. So this should disappear and this should disappear. Fantastic. All right. And yeah, let's style the hero section. So hero section. Oops. So pound sign hero section. I'm going to say height is 90 VH. Display is flex. Pattern is 100 pixels. So 0 top, 100 pixels to the right, and 0 bottom, and then 100 pixels to the left. Right. So we'll say overflow hidden, and then we have a background color white. Okay, that FFF white too. Same thing. So let's touch on the hero left. Yeah, this side. Hero left. You can say position relative. Want the width to be 45%. Height 100%. Padding top 14%. Yay. Let's bring the line. Let's see what it looks like so far. Okay, good. Now, there's supposed to be a line here, so let's kind of work on that a bit. That's hero line. So that's pound sign hero line. Position is absolute. Then we have 50 pixels to the left. Height, want it to be 70 VH. Width, we want it to be 2 pixels. And then background color, we want it to be black. No, not this. We want it to be black. Yeah. All right. Now, we want to style the H1 for this H1. Whee. Okay, so how do we do that? I'm just going to say, I'm just copying this and H1 because it's a descendant. So font size 5 em. I just felt like playing with the units. So instead of pixels, I decided to just use em. So 300. That's what the weight would be. And then let's style the H2. So I'm just going to copy this and paste. And then I'm just going to turn this to H2. So position is relative. The top is minus 20 pixels. Font size is 1.5 em. font weight 200, and then margin left is 15 pixels. Yeah. Next, we're going to work on the scroll area. And say scroll. No. Scroll area. There's going to be position absolute. There's going to be bottom 60 pixels. Right? And then we're going to have display flex. And we're going to say align item center. Then we have scroll. Sorry. Let me just copy this and paste. So let's target the P tag under it. So let's go area. So this P tag, we say scroll down. And so we're going to say font size is 18 pixels, margin right 5 pixels. Okay, then we have hero right. I'm going to say flex 1. Say display flex. And then justify content center. All right. Next, we want to target the image inside. So the image in the hero area. So that's going to be hero right followed by image. So margin top 5%, height 160%, and then background color we want it to be white, and then we want it to have, so you can see in the beginning, like if we look at it, it's colored. So we want it to be gray, like we want it to have that black and white feeling. We're going to give it a filter. See, filter, the filter we want to use is grayscale, and then we can say 100% grayscale. Okay, so let's take a look at what it looks like so far. So yeah, now we have the hero section successfully done. Yay, okay, we're making progress, now we're going to style we are going to style the services area. Ouch. Okay. I just saw this should be section. Okay. Now let's start styling the section, the services section. Right. Okay, so we're gonna call this services section. So we're gonna say page section. Okay, so it's a class. Why did I give it? Okay, it's a class. So this class, they're going to have the same thing. Oops, there should be section. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna say background color black. And then height is going to be 450 pixels. Padding is going to be 50 pixels top, bottom, and left, right 0 pixels. Display flex. And then we're going to have flex direction color. And then color is going to be white. So FFF white, whatever you want to give it. Next, we have the .page section, and we want to style the H1. So font size is going to be 3EM. And text align is going to be center. Right. Then for the cards area, which is this. Where are you? Yeah, so this is the cards area. We're going to have flex one. I want it to take the remaining space. Then we say display flex, then justify content center, and then align items center. Okay, so I want to style each of the cards inside. So we're just going to copy this. I'm going to say service card. So service card H2. No. So the service card itself first, not the H2. Let's start with the service card itself. So height is going to be 180 pixels, and width is 300 pixels, and then border is going to be 1 pixel solid height, and then border radius is 15 pixels. Margin top bottom 0 pixels. Left right we want it to be 20 pixels. Then display flex. Then we want the flex direction to be colon because we want it to stand on each other. Then justify content center, and then align items center. Okay, let's see what it looks like so far. So good. What's happening? Okay, this is it. We'll deal with that later. Where is it? Okay, let's just keep styling. That would normalize as we go on. All right. So we have H2 margin top 20 pixels, then text shadow. Text shadow. We want it to be 2 pixel, 2 pixel, 5 pixel, 8 pixel, and then FFF. So that's 2 pixels XY axis, 5 pixels Y axis, 8 pixels blur. Let's start the about me section. So about me. All right. So about section. Let's say background color white, color black. So we're going to say, let's style the P of the about section. That's going to be text align center, line height. We want it to be 30 pixels, not 3. We want it to be 30. Then we want margin to be 40 pixels, 200 pixels. So that's 40 pixels top bottom, 200 pixels left right. Okay, that's for the about section. Hopefully this has normalized. I don't know why this. You know what? Let me just comment out every other part while not styling at the moment so that we have a proper view of what we're doing. So we just finished styling the about me. So let's comment this out. Or okay, yeah. Let me comment each section. That's better. So this, comment out this, this. Okay. Save. Okay. So now this is what it looks like so far. Is what everything looks like so far. Fantastic. All right. So now let's style the projects section, and yeah. So I'm just going to remove the comment. All right. Project section. So back to our CSS. So project section. So we're just going to say project section. Let's say height. We want the height to be 550 pixels, right? And then we want the card container to be margin 0 pixels, 30 pixels, right? Then when we have a card container P, let's say margin top, and we have 10 pixels, right? Yeah, so we've styled this. Next, we want to style the service card itself. So we'll just copy this, and then we'll just say that service card. And then we say position relative margin 0, height 220 pixels, overflow hidden. All right. I want to style the images under the card container. That's image or img. Height is going to be 100%. Width is going to be 100%. Then object fit is going to be cover. Yay. Then we have a card overlay. The card overlay. So the card overlay is whenever we hover over this card, there's something that's going to show above it. So let's just quickly style that and look at what it looks like. Overlay. So it's going to be position absolute, then top 0, and the height to be 100%. And the width should be 100%, not 5. Yeah, percentage. Right. Okay. Then let's give it a background color. The background color is going to be RGBA 240, 248, 255, and we want it to be 0.5. Okay, display flex, justify content, flex end, then flex direction colon, and then we have opacity 0. So here we're also going to have a transition because we don't want it to just jump. We want it to be smooth. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I should show you what happens if we don't put anything. So let's just let's just do this. So that's card overlay. Let's unhover. This is what should happen. Just say card overlay. No, not card overlay, sorry, card container. So it's supposed to be where we hover over the card container. Then this should be card overlay. Okay, so we want the opacity to change to 1. So save. So if we go back, refresh, We go down. So now you can see it's like instant. Okay, so you could see it's jumping in. So you don't want it to jump like that. You want it to gradually come in. So we're going to say opacity, then we're going to say transition, then we'll just say opacity and easing out and 0.5s. So save. So if I go back, refresh, so you can see it's gradually coming in. Let's go back. Oops. So yeah, so just say cursor to the pointer, and that will be it for this overlay. So now let's work on the div for this. So this would have a div. Then width should be 100%. Height should be 40 pixels. So this is the div we're referring to, where, yeah, so this div. Oh, and this should also be removed, I just noticed. Now let's see, I think I skipped something. Okay, let's go. Before we proceed with this, let me just comment this out and then go. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, that's the overlay I was referring to. Oops. Just because there was a bracket over here. Okay, so if this wasn't there, this transition wasn't there, it would just jump. This is jumping. But with the transition, yeah. Okay. So back to what we're doing. So we have padding 0 and 10 pixels, and display flex, and align items center, then justify content space between, then background color will be RGB. We want it to be 238, 252, and 255. Yeah, then color black. Then we have font size smaller. Okay, so this is what it should look like. Refresh, and you could see this really nice one. All right. Next, let's quickly style the contact area, contact section. So contact section. The background color, we want it to be white. And just type it white this time. Color should be black. And then display should be flex. And then flex direction should be colon. And then align items should be center. And then justify content should be center. Right. Okay, so next we want to style the H2, which is a direct child. And then we say margin, top is 10 pixels, font weight is 400, and then font size is large. Then we're going to style the contact input container. Oh, that's true. I haven't commented this out, so let's do that. So this is what we want to style. Save and back. See, margin top 25 pixels, And then we say contact impute should be width 350 pixels. And then padding should be 8 pixels top and bottom, 10 pixels left, right. Font weight should be 500. Font size should be 17 pixels. Background color should be transparent. And then border should be 1 pixel solid black. Okay, border radius 15 pixels. And then margin to the right. Yep, 10 pixels. Right. Okay, let's see what that looks like so far. So if we scroll down, that's what we have. Yeah, then let's quickly get to the last part of the CSS and then comment this one out, save. So we're getting to the footer section. So the footer section, so just say footer. Yep, capital letters. So footer section, height auto. Then the footer section, we're going to start with nav. So this nav, that's going to be width 100%, display flex, justify content space evenly, font size, I want it to be smaller, then font weight, I want it to be 400. Okay, and then so I'm going to style the nav items, the li under the nav items. So that's going to be li. And it's going to be font size will be small, and then font weight is going to be 400. Okay, and yay, that this is, yeah, this is what it's going to look like. So now let's work on the responsiveness. It's time for us to work on the responsiveness. So we're going to start with the hero section and then we'll move, or we'll start with the, let's see, maybe the nav items, then the hero section. I like that. We'll just keep styling it little by little. Okay, are we ready? Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, back here. At media, not just normal media. So max, let me see, 1000 pixels. Okay. So for this area, the nav items, and the width to be 100%. Oops. And then justify content space around. Okay. Next, I want the hero section. Then font size should be 14 pixels. Okay. Then the hero left should be width 100%, display flex, justify content center. We have hero right. And then I also want this to apply to the nav bar. Stage 2. That's going to say display none. Okay. And then let's see what that looks like. So refresh. Spec page to the top. Okay, you can see, yeah, yep, work, right. Fantastic. Okay, so let's keep styling. Okay, so for the page section, I'm just going to say height should be auto. Then for the project section, I'm going to say height should be auto too. And then for the cards area, and flex direction should be colon. And align items should be center. And then we want justify content to be spaced around. Okay, and we want the margin at the top to be 40 pixels. The reason why we want the height to be auto for the project section is so that the height keeps expanding based on what is inside, which is a contrast to what the height was before. The height was a bit static. So we want it to keep changing so that it will accommodate the length. Yeah. So if we refresh, yeah. Okay. So now imagine if we remove the auto, see what happens if we refresh. You can see it doesn't accommodate. So yeah. So we'll just do this and this and save. And yeah, let's keep styling. So after that, we have the service card, which we want margin bottom to be 40 pixels. And we have about section. Key, that's going to be margin 40 pixels, 50 pixels. Okay. Then we have cart area. That's going to be flex 1. Then display flex. Then justify content center. And align items center. Okay. Then next we want the cart container. The cart container. So I want that to be margin bottom 40 pixels. Okay. So let's see what that looks like so far. Fresh. So yeah. So you can see now it looks good for this. But we want it to, when it gets smaller, we want some things to change. We want the hamburger icon to show, and yeah. Okay, so let's do that. So, because when it gets into a smaller screen, we want some things to change. So we'll say add media, and then we'll just say max width, and it will be max width 600 pixels. So the nav bar, I want it to be justify content flex end. Then I want the nav items to be display none. So Let's see how that works. Refresh. So you can see it disappears. Yep. Yeah. All right. Let's keep styling. Then we have the nav aside, position relative, and then display block, and then the index. We want it to be 30. We want it to come to the front. This nav aside, which is it's that modal that shows whenever we click on the hamburger button. That's what we're styling at the moment. So background color, we want this to be a bit transparent. So that's just going to be RGBA. That's going to be 38, 38, 38, 0.9. Then position should be fixed. Then top 0, right, minus 100% to the right. So we want it to go extremely to the right and off the screen. Then height is 100 VH, and width is 100 UW, and then we're also going to give it a transition because we want it to, whenever we want it to come on screen, we don't want it to just jump into the screen. So yeah, we're just going to say all easing out 0.8 seconds. So let me comment this out so that we see what's there. So small screen, refresh, so you can see it. This is what it looks like. So if we remove it, it goes off screen. Yeah. Okay. Let me just do this so that we can see whatever we style inside. Okay. Next we have draw icon dot hide icon. So whenever this particular class is there, the opacity becomes 0. So we want that the draw icon to be what's it called? We want it to um we want it to fade out. Yeah. Okay, so let's bring in the draw icon. So let me just put that here. Now to say display block. So before at the top it was hidden, but now we just want to display top. So if we refresh, you can see it's there. But we want a situation that when this overlay is present, this disappears. That's why we are bringing in this class list to fade it out of view. Okay, so next we want to style the nav aside. So we want to put a style whenever we click on that hamburger button. Yeah, so we're just going to say this will be activated, this and this, what we are typing right now, this show modal would be activated with JavaScript. This and this will be activated with JavaScript. So we're going to say right 0. Okay. So next we're going to style the close icon. And so that's going to be position absolute. And then top is going to be 20 pixels. And then I'm going to say right is going to be 50 pixels to the right. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, so yeah, fantastic. Okay, so next we are going to style the draw icon. Okay, we've styled the draw icon already. So it's going to be the ULs. It's going to be aside UL. Okay, so height is going to be 100%. Then padding is going to be 10 VH. And 10 VH top bottom left right 0 pixels. And display will be flex. And then we have flex direction, colon, and then align items, center, and then justify content space around. Okay, so let's style the list items. So we'll just say list item is gonna be, so we're just gonna start with um so the list style should be none. Okay. Then the font weight should be 600 and the font size should be 20 pixels. Then the margin right should be 5 VW. Then color should be white or FFF as you like. Then text transform should be uppercase. Okay, right. Then let's see what it looks like so far. Yeah, let's style this. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna say aside contact. Say padding should be 8 pixel, top bottom 30 pixel. That's right. Font weight should be 500. Font size should be 17 pixels. Color should be white. Text transform should be uppercase. And then background color should be transparent. Border should be 1 pixel solid white. And then border radius should be 15 pixel. Okay. Okay. That should look like this now. There's something wrong. Side contact. Okay, it's a class. Should it be a class? Why is it a class? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so let's style the hero section for this size, for this screen size. So we're just going to say margin top 50 pixel so that there's more space at the top. Then hero left, justify content center, align item center, then hero left div. I want the first child. I want to target the div that is a first child. Okay. So position will be relative, and then top will be minus 50 pixel. Okay. And then hero left h1 font size should be 8.5 m. Font weight should be 300. Then the contact section, and it gets smaller, h1, and we want the font size to be extra large. Then contact input container. And the display to be flex. And then the flex direction should be colon. And then the align items should be center. Okay, let's see what that looks like so far. Refresh, go down. So you can see it's stacking on each other, unlike how it was before. Okay, right. Next we want to style the nav container. It's gonna be nav contact. I said nav container. I want to style the nav contact. So margin top. We want to give it 30 pixel at the top, so that there be space. Okay, so let's continue styling. So next, let's style the footer. And the footer section, we're going to style the nav items. So display flex. Then I'm just going to style the nav. So width is 100%. Display is flex. Justify content is space evenly. And then font size is small. And then we have the font weight to be 400. Okay, whew. And yeah, with that we have successfully styled this to be responsive. Yay. Mm. So let's deal with the JavaScript aspect. So next we're going to deal with the JavaScript aspect so that whenever we click on this, the modal shows up and we can click on the close but the icon and then it closes out. So next we're going to deal with the JavaScript. For the JavaScript, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call this main.js. And so main file, so that's going to be main.js. And I'm going to bring in 3 elements, which is going to be the hamburger, which is like the drawer icon, then the side nav, and then the close icon. So those are the 3 things I'm bringing in first. So let's draw. So I'm going to call the hamburger icon drawer icon. So I'm just going to say document dot query selector, and that's going to be drawer icon. Okay. Next is the side nav or the aside, whatever you want to call it. It looks like a model. So yeah, the document dot query selector. I'm going to call this. So that's I'm not calling it. That's going to be the nav aside. Okay. All right. Then const close icon, which is the X. And we say document dot get element by ID close icon. So before we move on, let me just bring the let me just put it into the HTML. So that's going to be script source slash main.js. Okay. All right. So let's add an event listener to the hamburger. So that's going to be draw icon dot add event listener dot click, and so we're going to say show side. No, I don't want it to be show side menu. Let's say toggle side menu. That looks more like it. Okay, so function toggle side menu. Okay, so when we toggle the side menu, what we want to do when we click on this button, what we want to do is we want to add this class and this class to these elements. So yeah, essentially. So I'm just going to say draw icon dot class list dot toggle. I'm going to say hide icon, right? And then we're going to say side nav dot class list dot toggle. Sorry, show model. So this particular one is going to make the opacity 0, and then this is going to bring the side nav to the right. Let the right be 0. So let's go back, refresh. Just look at the hamburger, you see to fade out while the side menu comes in. So yeah, if it's not there, the hamburger will be behind it, and that doesn't just feel right. Okay, so now we need to make sure that this, when we click this X button, it, or this X icon, it closes, and it closes this entire side nav. Okay, so back, we're just going to say, I'm just going to duplicate this and change this draw icon to close icon, save, and then we go back, refresh, click, phase out, fades in. Yay! And we've been able to come to the end of this beautiful, beautiful portfolio. I'm hoping you enjoyed what we've done so far. I hope you learned something new. And if you did, please give a like. And if you've not done so, please subscribe. And yeah, leave a comment if you have any question. If you don't have any question, just give a word of encouragement. Yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.